Hi and welcome. I'm hoping that within the next few minutes we get to tell you all the burning questions that you would have about your overnight and international deliveries. I think one of the big things is that people talk about overnight and international and they talk about same-day courier, but what is really the difference between the two?
So with an overnight service, effectively it's consolidated, it goes through a trunking system, it goes through a sortation hub, which is usually in the West Midlands somewhere, before it goes and gets distributed onwards to the local delivery site and then put onto a delivery vehicle. So effectively it does pass a few hands, but you get the economy of scale based upon the fact that you've got lots and lots and lots of parcels clearly travelling through that same network. So it means it's quite a cost-effective service.
The great thing for people who utilise Diamond's overnight and international service is that we have multiple carriers that you can utilise. So the joy of those multiple carriers is that you may be splitting your spend, but you're consolidating it with us. You get us picking up from your site, so you get to learn who your local driver is. And then it gets inputted via our local service centre, and it's all monitored as well, isn't it, via Dispatch Lab, Dan?
Yeah, so the technology is crucial to what we do. You know, first off, the system has client-specific algorithms that's built into it to make sure that each and every shipment that our clients are sending is being routed via the most suitable carrier. But then it's pulling all the tracking information in, so it's keeping our clients well informed.
I think in less than logistics kind of lingo, that means we get to send the parcels with who you want, dependent on where they're going and what they are, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
So Dan, we talk about next day and we talk about overnight and we talk about international, how does it all work from a layperson's perspective?
So the idea is that each and every one of our clients has access to Dispatch Lab where they can enter their shipment details, and that's when Dispatch Lab will choose the appropriate carrier for that individual item. That instigates, from our perspective, a collection. So we'll send a Diamond Logistics vehicle out to our clients to do the collection, and then we will bring those goods back to our local service centre for consolidation. And again, that adds the economies of scale from our carrier negotiation point of view. That means that the carriers then feed into our service centres on a daily basis, collect all of the goods that relate to that particular carrier. They then trunk them up to their sortation hubs. They then do the sortation. It then goes out to the relevant delivery site and then scanned on board a delivery vehicle. And that doesn't matter whether it's a domestic delivery or whether it's an international destination. The premise is effectively the same.
So effectively, there's lots of hands touching your stuff along the consolidation journey, but the consolidation journey drives the price down exponentially.
Absolutely.
And these networks, so we've got various different carriers and couriers, and we deliver not just to the UK, but globally too?
Yeah, absolutely. So whether it's Europe on a road service or indeed, the rest of the globe, we've got import or export capabilities the globe over, and it doesn't matter whether it's a small parcel, a pallet, a container, we can handle it.
We always joke that our proposal here is a little bit encyclopedic, but how many different kind of overnight international services do we have? It's over 4,000, I believe. So there's definitely one to fit everybody, isn't there? So,
absolutely. Yeah,
regardless of what you're dispatching or where it's going, there's an overnight or international option for you. So Dan, what can you actually send on the overnight network?
It's more, I think, a case of what you can't send, or rather what you shouldn't really send via an overnight carrier. So if you've got items that are hugely valuable, for argument's sake, works of art, etc., you shouldn't really be using an overnight network for those. That's when you switch over to a same-day courier service. Certainly fast-moving consumer goods, the boom in e-commerce has led to high demand in terms of delivery services across the whole of the UK. But it's not just restricted to the residential type deliveries. We also do lots of retail-based B2B, business-to-business based deliveries and things like that as well.
So I'd say some of the stuff that is not good to actually send through the overnight network would be highly hazardous stuff.
It's a challenge, yeah, because it's going to be mixed in with lots of other shipments as well. So we need to make sure that they're not going to have an impact upon the quality of delivery for the other items that are being delivered along with it.
Stuff that isn't very well packaged?
That's a crucial one. So, for me, I've spent the last 26 years working in the overnight carrier sector, and to me, it's all about the packaging. You know, you can send, you know, fragile items for argument's sake, but if it's packaged really badly, it's not going to get there in one piece. So, you know, this is where we can give our clients a huge amount of advice as well about what type of packaging is fit for travelling via an overnight carrier.
It's incredibly important. We do quite a lot of booze clients, for example, and we make sure that their goods are wrapped really, really well, and we deliver with no problems at all. You know, glass, which is pretty fragile. And it's actually really interesting. You need the expertise of logistics type people, such as Dan. I never consider myself to be the logistics expert here at Diamond, because it's only when you really understand how the carriers work that you understand why stuff wouldn't necessarily be good for an overnight. Like, for example, stuff in tubes. Like, why would stuff in tubes not be good for an overnight, Dan?
Because of the big boom in e-commerce, that's led to a huge amount of volume going via the individual carriers. So to make it really efficient, they have these automated routing systems at their sortation hubs that is conveyor led. So effectively, all of the parcels go onto conveyor belts, clearly rolls on conveyor belts. You know, if you've ever been at Tesco's and you've been putting through your bottles of wine, you know, and you put them a certain way and they're rolling all over the place, that's effectively what happens with tubes in the carrier networks.
So the ideal stuff to go on an overnight and international network is stuff that is well packaged, relatively small in terms of box size, and flat edged in order to ensure that it doesn't slide off the conveyor belt. But if you need any more advice with regards to either packaging or the right kind of consignment to go through the overnight network, you know who to give a shout. Right, this is Dan's favourite bit. This is all about the technology. So Dan, can you track your overnight and international consignments, and how do you do that?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. And irrespective as to which carrier we're utilising for the delivery, the clever thing about Dispatch Lab is that we've done the direct integration with the carriers, which is meaning that in real terms, our system is pulling that live tracking information directly from the carrier systems and presenting it uniformed across Dispatch Lab. That means that it's very, very, very easy for you to know exactly where your goods are at any one given point. But one of the added benefits to using Diamond Logistics is that we're very proactive when it comes to the customer care as well. So it's not just our clients that are tracking their onward shipments, it's
we're
us
doing it too. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're making sure that if anything is going awry, which occasionally happens, by the way, it's the way that we respond to that and resolve those problems with our major account status with our carriers as well that sets us aside from our competition.
So we call that proactive exception management. Effectively speaking, we've got little donuts on Dispatch Lab which we can show you, and they tell us when stuff is going wrong before you guys know about it. And you can rest assured that our service centre team will be getting onto the carriers to try to resolve, I'd say, about 99% of the issues before we have to pass them back to you. So effectively speaking, for the price of an individual overnight or international delivery, you're getting inclusive logistics management. But don't tell your dispatch manager. So do you need an account to have an overnight or international consignment dispatch with Diamond Logistics?
We prefer it, to be fair.
Yes,
yeah,
we
because
do.
You know, our target audience is effectively businesses that have a regular requirement. So, you know, we're not you know, the right carrier for, you know, picking up a wheelbarrow from Doris that's just sold it on eBay. It's not the sort of business that we cater for.
Not.
So we want regular business clients, and as such, yeah, having an account is the better solution.
Absolutely. It's not impossible if you've got an emergency and you're a business customer wanting to open an account with us for us to do your first booking for you, and we can put it into Dispatch Lab ourselves. But in order to access Dispatch Lab, which gives you access to multiple carriers and all our same day, overnight and international services, you will need to establish an account. For details of that, you can click on the blog below. So Dan, a lot of people have been asking me about insurance when it comes to next day or overnight or international consignments. What's the story?
So most of the carriers have a standard liability cover per shipment, and that's generally up to a maximum level, but generally worked out based upon the weight of the individual item. When it comes to European shipments, however, it is governed by the dreaded EU. So there are some weird complexities around the liability cover on EU shipments, but there's lots of information on the website about that. But what's important is that most carriers will allow us to enhance that liability cover. So with some of the carriers, you know, if their standard liability is £10 per kilo that you're sending through, you can increase that up to kind of £5,000 or even £10,000 if you want to. You're just going to pay a little bit extra to cover that additional amount.
So effectively speaking, it is possible for you to trade on our normal carriers' insurance, the conditions of which you can find on our website, or you can enhance it via the carriers, or indeed you can self-insure as well, can't you?
And that's what a lot of our clients do
with the really expensive stuff.
Yeah, particularly for peace of mind. You know, some of our clients go for third-party goods in transit cover, which will cover them in case anything were to go wrong, and there's a gulf between the standard carrier liability and what the goods are valued at.
So insurance can be complex. As I said, check our website for the courier's terms and conditions of carriage, or if not, give one of your Diamond Service Centre team a call and we will run through it with you. So one of the areas that people often raise when we're talking to them is why would I not just get an account with a carrier direct? Why would I go to Diamond Logistics? Doesn't that add like a little bit of a barrier between me and the carrier that I'm using?
Not at all, and I think this is the general misconception. I think, you know, particularly in the SME world as well, let's say you're dispatching 10 items a day, for argument's sake, on an average day. You have to generally utilise one carrier that's going to be able to cater for all 10 of those. Now, if you've got a varied freight profile, you know, in different sizes, weights, value of product, and whether you're doing business address as well as residential address, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to select one of those carriers that's going to fit all of your requirements. So one of the benefits of Dispatch Lab is that you do have lots of different carriers that you can utilise for their individual specialties within the sector. If you were to do that direct with carriers, let's say you want to split up those 10 across 2 or 3 different carriers.
You'd be spending tiny amounts,
Tiny amounts. Yeah. It means that the carrier's not really interested in you. They're not going to give you the right rates. They're not going to give you the right level of customer care. They're not going to collect from you at the optimum time, etc., etc. So the benefits to us is that your spend is with us. Those 10 shipments are coming via us. And that means that you're not diluting your buying power. We are giving you the benefits of all of those individual carriers played to their strength within the sector. And of course, we're weeding out the weaknesses as well.
Also, the other thing is that we spend a lot of money with the carriers, so we tend to get enhanced service from them. Mm-hmm. And also, you get the beauty of seeing all your consignments in one place with our logistics management platform, Dispatch Lab. So you can get an account direct with a carrier, but ultimately speaking, will they give you the breadth of service that you need for the variety of consignments that you need, including same-day courier? Will you have transparency on one system? And will you have the same kind of buying power that you would have with Diamond? The question is down to you, but if you want to find out more, you know where we are. So Dan, I'm going to mention the B word. Well, I'm going to mention 2 B words actually. I'm going to mention Brexit and bureaucracy. So talk to me about the documentation around the international side of things and how Diamond can help ease that process for our clients.
Look, first and foremost, it's been a hell of a journey really when it comes to Brexit and all of the changes that and bureaucracy that has been imposed upon logistics businesses such as our own, making sure that we are sending goods with the correct paperwork and we're declaring them properly. But it's an ever-changing landscape, and I think for many clients that are sending internationally, it's a real problem. Yeah, it really is a real problem. So, you know, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is the fact that we've automated that process. So through Dispatch Lab, because we have got control over that technology, we've made it as Brexit proof as we possibly can do, and that means that even for EU destinations, it's holding EORI numbers, it's holding the IOS numbers, even for Northern Ireland, the XI EORI numbers and things like that. And it means that when you're dispatching to a destination, that it needs all of that declaration in the form of CN22s or CN23s, or indeed full commercial invoices with declaration of origin, commodity codes in there as well. we've got you covered, so that you don't need to really think about what you do need to produce for it. As long as we've got the right information, we can produce the paperwork that's going to clear customs in the best way possible. But likewise, we can dispatch in a few different trade methods as well. So whether you're sending your goods duties unpaid or duties paid, again, we can handle both scenarios and make sure that we're producing the right paperwork for you. Because it is a minefield and it's forever changing, we're keeping ahead of any of those changes and making sure that we're writing it into our process and the systems.
I used to say that logistics wasn't rocket science, but you know what, it really is a science, and we've tried to take away the complexity of it all and make it all automated via Dispatch Lab. So it still means that the dispatch process is relatively simple in terms of classic kind of goods. There's still some challenges in terms of food products, particularly in seeds, etc., but all of that we can give you some advice. But rest assured, you've got documentation covered. That's going to be a tricky one to say. Documentation covered with Diamond Logistics. So Dan, who is a really good fit for Diamond when it comes to overnight and international clients, and actually who would really like to be working with us?
I think if the client has a mixed freight profile that lends itself to lots of different carriers, so you're sending small items, slightly bigger items, residential deliveries as well as business address deliveries, you've got a multitude of different types of destinations that you're sending to. That's ideal for us and that multi-carrier piece.
That mixed freight profile, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, because we've got a multitude of different services available to our clients, those that have a variety of different needs when it comes to speed of service, etc.
They'll really appreciate that, won't they? And then also people that have maybe got, those kind of smaller teams, or they're looking to reduce their costs in terms of their, dispatching and warehousing and logistics management, because all of our prices include that logistics management free of charge.
Yeah.
And who else do you think would be a really good fit?
Certainly good payers.
Certainly good payers. Our financial director will be very pleased you said that. And then I guess it's really people who share our values too.
Yeah, people that want to build a partnership with us. We're there to help our clients grow their businesses. Many businesses kind of start by selling a product or a service, but it's the delivery of that product that really sets them aside from their competition. So for us, we want to be an intrinsic part of their business.
Absolutely.
We want to help them take and alleviate some of the pain of logistics so that they can concentrate on their core function.
We've had some of our clients since our conception, which is nearly 30 years ago as we shoot this vlog. And so, it'd be great to start and see and grow and nurture businesses just like that. So if you need a really trusted advisor who's got years of experience in overnight and international deliveries, then give us a call. We really look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully the questions that we've answered have been most of the burning things you needed to know about our overnight and international services. But if you've got any other questions, or indeed want to open an account with Diamond Logistics, then please do get in touch, either using the form below or phone us today. We'll really look forward to hearing from you.